Sarah Ferguson on brink of breakdown as Beatrice and Eugenie caught in Epstein scandal. Welcome to Crown Chronicles, your royal destination for truth, drama, and the secrets that slip through the palace walls. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join our growing royal family, because today's story is one that could shake the House of York to its very foundations. It's the kind of headline the royal family dreads. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, reportedly on the brink of a breakdown, as her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, become unwillingly dragged into the lingering shadows of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, a nightmare that refuses to fade from the royal narrative. For years, the Yorks have lived under the heavy cloud cast by Prince Andrew's association with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. While the Duke of York has consistently denied all allegations and any wrongdoing, the fallout from his infamous 2019 BBC interview has been catastrophic. It forced his withdrawal from royal duties, tarnished his reputation, and left his family, especially Sarah, Beatrice, and Eugenie, desperately trying to hold on to their dignity. But now, according to insiders, the ghosts of that scandal are resurfacing, dragging the Duchess and her daughters back into a storm they never wanted to revisit. And this time, the emotional toll may be too much for Sarah to bear. The story reportedly began with renewed media attention on Epstein's network, following the release of previously sealed court documents and witness statements that once again placed Prince Andrew's name in the headlines. Though neither Beatrice nor Eugenie are implicated in any wrongdoing, their close connection to their father has led to fresh public scrutiny and unwanted attention from the global press. For Sarah Ferguson, who has fought for years to rebuild her image after decades of scandals, the renewed firestorm feels like déjà vu. Another reminder that, no matter how much she or her daughters try to move forward, the past keeps pulling them back in. Sources close to the Duchess have described her as deeply fragile, saying the recent surge of headlines has left her anxious, sleepless, and fiercely protective of her daughters. Sarah feels like she's fighting a battle she can't win, one insider reportedly said. Every time she thinks the family is beginning to heal, something drags them back into the nightmare. The Duchess, affectionately known as Fergie, has always been the emotional heart of the York family, the glue holding together a fractured unit that has faced its share of royal turbulence. She's been the peacemaker between her ex-husband and their daughters, the public defender when criticism turns cruel, and the optimist when things fall apart. But now, those close to her say even her boundless positivity is showing cracks. And it's not hard to see why. The renewed Epstein discussions have reportedly placed Beatrice and Eugenie in an impossible position. Despite living largely private lives and focusing on their families and careers, they can't escape the association with their father's scandal. Royal commentators have noted that both sisters' public appearances have become more reserved in recent months, with one source suggesting they've been advised by palace aides to lay low while the news cycle burns out. But laying low doesn't come easy for two women who've worked so hard to carve their own identities. Beatrice, a vice president at a technology firm and mother of a young daughter, has always prided herself on her work ethic and discretion. Eugenie, who runs an art gallery and is deeply involved in anti-slavery and environmental charities, has long sought to use her platform for good. Now, both find themselves battling headlines that threaten to undo years of careful image building. And behind them, watching helplessly, is their mother, a woman who knows too well what public shaming feels like. Sarah Ferguson has endured more royal scandals than most, from her infamous toe-sucking photos in the 90s, to her money troubles, to being caught on camera offering access to Prince Andrew for cash. Yet, somehow, she's always found a way back. She's reinvented herself as an author, a motivational speaker, a cancer survivor, and a tireless charity advocate. She's weathered humiliation with grace, often saying, "You can't have shadows without light." But even Fergie's light seems to be flickering under this renewed pressure. Reports suggest that she's been struggling emotionally in recent weeks, turning to close friends and spiritual advisors for comfort. One friend told a British tabloid, "Sarah has carried so much weight for so long. She's always been strong for Andrew and the girls, but this time, the burden feels unbearable. She's exhausted, both emotionally and mentally." Meanwhile, palace insiders are said to be concerned about the optics. King Charles and Prince William have made it clear that any association with Epstein remains toxic for the monarchy. Andrew's continued residence at Royal Lodge, and his refusal to step away from royal property, has only deepened the tension within the family. Some reports even claim that the Yorks' ongoing presence near Windsor has become a sore point, with both the King and Prince of Wales privately urging Andrew to relocate. For Sarah, caught between loyalty to her ex-husband and love for her daughters, it's a no-win situation. She reportedly worries that any wrong move could not only damage her own fragile rehabilitation but also harm Beatrice and Eugenie's future standing within the royal circle, and then there's the public. Once sympathetic to her struggles, opinion has shifted once again. As social media revives old footage, photos, and theories surrounding the York family. Even Beatrice's and Eugenie's charitable projects are now viewed through a more cynical lens, unfairly linked to their father's past, but amid the despair, Fergie remains defiant. Friends say she refuses to abandon Andrew, insisting that family is forever. She continues to support him privately, visiting him at Royal Lodge and standing by him at family events, even when it costs her public favor. Sarah believes in loyalty above all, one friend shared. She's not blind to Andrew's mistakes, but she will never turn her back on him. That's what's breaking her, she's torn between her heart and her sanity. As for Beatrice and Eugenie, the sisters are said to be rallying around their mother, doing everything they can to keep her spirits high. They've reportedly spent more time at home, avoiding public drama and focusing on their young families. Eugenie, in particular, has spoken before about her mother's strength, calling her the most resilient person I know. But even resilience has its limits. With media pressure intensifying, royal insiders fear that Sarah's health, both emotional and physical, could begin to deteriorate under the strain. And for a woman who's already battled cancer twice in recent years, that concern is not unfounded. So where does this leave the Yorks? In a word, cornered. The monarchy is moving on, slimmed down, cautious, and desperate to maintain its dignity. And yet, the York family remains stuck in a story they can't seem to escape. For Sarah Ferguson, this may be the fight of her life, not just to protect her daughters, but to preserve her own sense of self in a world that refuses to forgive. And for Beatrice and Eugenie, this ordeal could define how the next generation of royals learns to navigate scandal in an era where no secret stays buried for long. Thank you for watching Crown Chronicles, the home of royal revelations, shocking truths, and the untold side of Britain's most powerful family. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Because in the royal world, the scandals may fade, but the consequences linger forever.